right, Doug, get ready for that 10 a.m. drop. Get that theme music ready to rock. Pop a rock stop. Pop the rock stop.
Do people tune into this part?
Pop a rock stop. We got 317 people watching right now. Let's do the pop a rock stop. It's the best part of the show. Do the pop rock and stop. I like having fun. I like to laugh. I like to meet people who can make me laugh. I like having fun. Okay. Yes, I like to laugh. I like having fun to meet people who laugh. Let's go. Good morning, everybody. We got a wonderful show for you today. It is office hours. We are back. It is the week of November 25th, and it is lit. We are lit. Woo! Doing a little housekeeping here. Yeah. So, what the hell is happening, everybody? Welcome to the show. We've got not exactly a full deck today. We're not playing with a full deck. We've got DJ Douggpound, and that's it. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Well, we're just the two of us. Couple of croons. A couple of raisins left in the bag. This is it. This was the pre-show jam we were getting into. I'm just hanging with my pal, Mr. Douggpound. Loose and hot. He's the top. He's the number one dude in my life. He smells like chicken and rice.
Settle down, folks.
He smells like chicken and rice.
Hey, folks, welcome.
Chicken and rice. Smells so nice.
I'll say.
Chicken and rice smells so nice. Okay. That's a nice little, what is that? Where's that from? What is that piece of music?
It's called Slow Jam Loop.
Slow Jam Loop. Oh, yeah. All right. Slow Jam Loop. So much going on. First of all, Doug, you were just down in Miami.
That's right. I was there, Miami.
And it seems like there's a whole, what's going on down there? There's a whole art community there that you're getting involved with now. It seems awesome.
That's a cool group of people called Borscht Corporation. It's like a non-profit film.
If it's non-profit, I'm out. I'm all about making them green jean
I got
bills.
a free shirt, though.
Well, who made the shirt? Where's that made? Who made that shirt?
Who knows?
Where's the country? Let me guess. China. So, it's all non-profit. There's no money. But here's the slave labor working, making shirts so you can wear it. Cool. Shame on
this
you.
is USA, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Shut up!
Okay, and then no Vic today. Vic is off traveling. We believe is in Dallas. And watch this, as they say, watch this space for updates and news because Vic mysteriously went to Dallas, and the president is traveling to Dallas and will be in Dallas he's doing some motorcade, driving down the street. They're saying they published his route, which they usually don't do. It's you have to look into that. They published the route of the motorcade.
Shut up.
Yeah, they did, Doug. And
I think that's unbelievable, man.
And so the story is, I don't know a lot. I'm telling you to watch this space and watch the news today. But Vic,
Where's he staying?
Vic,
At that book building?
he's
Library?
staying. I don't know where he stayed. This is the thing. Vic kind of dropped off the face of the earth about on, I'd say Thursday night. I reached out to get a hold of him. His wife said, I've not heard from him. He packed a bag, got into his car, and drove south.
Like
And
a
now we
duffel
understand.
bag?
Yeah, duffel bag. Long duffel bag. Capiche?
Ask questions.
So we don't know what's happening with him. Vic, if you're listening, I know you're a fan of the show as well as a big part of the show. Call in and give us an update. We care about you. We miss you. Don't do anything stupid. I know he's not a big fan of his president, but geez, think about your family and your future. All right? That's what's happening, folks.
I get it.
All right. What else did I want to say quickly? I guess we got a couple calls coming in today, some VIP calls. Sam Dewey is going to be calling in at 10:30, and then a special guest after that.
Who's Sam Dewey?
Not really sure. Sam Dewey was quoted by the president, speaking of President Trump. He was quoted today. Let's see what the quote was. This is a thing our president does from time to time, is he will quote someone as if we all know what it's as if we're all watching the same shit he's watching. So the quote is, President Trump is facing a process which is unprecedented for its unfairness. That's a quote from Sam Dewey.
Do you all really believe this?
So we'll find out what's going on with Sam later today on the show.
not
And then
ashamed
after
of
that,
it.
a special guest will be calling. What else? Vic, speaking of Vic, Doug, did you see his John Voight vid?
Oh, yeah.
God, that was great.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up,
Everybody,
wake up.
everybody check out the latest from Vic. It got a lot of, sometimes, it's funny, these videos he does, or I do, or you do, sometimes they catch on, sometimes they don't. That one seems to have caught on. You had people like Billy Eichner going nuts over it, and these sort of internet, or not, but, famous people going, this made me cry laughing. But it really was, God, he had such great source material. If you go back and watch the original.
I want to watch the
clip,
original.
Well, he really does get interrupted by that music, but it's not the Baby Geniuses video that Vic put in. It's the theme song to Midnight Cowboy. But he does, like, they clearly put they miscue it. So he's like, Trump's in the middle of a sentence, and all of a sudden this music starts.
Like the Harry Nilsson song?
No, it's not. No, it's not the everybody's
Talking.
Everybody's talking at me, which is actually a song by Fred Neil that was covered by Harry Nilsson that ended up in the movie. So get your facts straight. But
My facts were straight. The one that's in the movie was the Nilsson.
oh, great! Here comes the copyright strike.
Oh, okay.
That's good. Perfect. No, there's an actual like orchestral theme to Midnight Cowboy. Midnight Cowboy theme. You could look that up, or you could look at the original video. But anyways, it really is like the same way that in Vic's video when he gets interrupted by that Baby Geniuses music. It's the same beat that happens in real life, and you can't believe it. But that's it.
Rat Rizzo, right?
Hey, I'm walking here.
That's from that movie, right?
Yeah, that's from that movie.
You know he wore a rock in his shoe the whole time?
I did know that, and it's amazing. Of course I know that. You think
Hoffman, not
Hoffman.
Voight.
See? Voight.
Voight used to be cool as hell.
Well, he's been in a lot of good movies, that's for sure.
He's the dad of
He deserves a presidential medal of freedom.
Angelina Jolie's dad?
Yes.
Wow.
You don't hear much about her no more. She kind of fell off the face of the earth.
What does she have to say about her dad's medal? Is she there?
But think
What
about
was the medal he got?
Presidential Medal of Freedom. It's like they give it out to like, famous people and authors.
And he pretty much
stuff.
got it because John Voight said
'Cause he's a
that's the
fan
best president since Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln.
Tim, why don't you start saying
Delano.
stuff?
What about when he goes? He played Franklin Delano. Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Like you've never heard Franklin Delano Roosevelt before? You're the fucking president.
Delano.
Even you know Delano, Doug, right? You know FDR.
Delano. Franklin Delano.
What about
Delano.
Here's a good question. Dwight Eisenhower, his middle initial is Dwight D. Eisenhower, right?
Right.
What's that stand for?
Dwighty.
It stands for it also stands for Delano.
No, it's not.
Dwight Delano.
No, it's not. It's
Dwight Delano Eisenhower.
It's not Dwight D. It's Dwighty. Dwighty Eisenhower.
Dwighty. Dwight. What does this is a question for the? Oh, someone said it's D-Day. Dwight D-Day Eisenhower. That's a good one. We'll have to find out. What does Dwight D. Eisenhower stand for?
I'm gonna look it up now.
And why did they call him Ike? Eisenhower was also named Ike. I like Ike. What do you got?
I can't say the thing I was thinking of.
Okay. But speaking, since we only have Doug, and Doug is our pun master. We haven't done a show in a while, but we haven't done a pun in a while. Pun contest. I thought we could do throughout the show. We could do. How about the Democratic candidates for the Democratic nomination? We'll do a rolling, running pun contest of all the sorry, Doug, I'm springing this on you. You don't.
You probably had 24, 48 hours to think about it.
I do not, my friend.
Wait, the Democratic. What did you say? I was looking up David. Dwight David. It's boring.
Right.
David.
What? David.
That's the D. David.
Okay. Doug, I'm warning you to work on your puns today. I am warning Elizabeth Warren. I'm warning you to work on some puns throughout the show. That's all you ever do. All right. Let's take a call just to warm this room up a little bit. Get people talking. And hello? Let's take a call just to warm this room. Hi, mute your streams.
Mute the stream.
Hey, Tim. Can you hear me?
Yes.
How's
What's
it
your
going?
problem? Good. What's your name? What's your problem?
My name's Eden. Don't really have a problem right now yet.
Okay. Uh-oh.
I was wondering if you've ever had the Impossible Burger. If you've tried that yet. What do you think of it?
Of course. I've had everything. I've been down every road, my friend. There's not anything I haven't done. Although I haven't done many drugs. I'm not a druggie. If you ask me what drugs I've done, I'll be honest with you, and I will give you real honest answers about illegal drugs that I've done. And the truth is I haven't done a lot. But the Impossible Burger is what we're talking about today. That's the subject of the show.
Kicking it with the fam, tripping balls.
I've had the Impossible and the Beyond one at Carl's Jr. Carl's Jr. is superior.
Is it Beyond better than Impossible?
Yes.
You know what I'm fucking thrilled about? And I'm not a vegetarian, but I got the Beyond Bratwurst.
Those are the top.
That's the best thing they've done.
That's the best thing they've done.
I'm telling you, get this Beyond Bratwurst, get some pretzel rolls, get some good mustard, some sauerkraut, fry them up in a pan, and it's just as good as a good brat. You understand that? We're loving it. All right, is that your?
Those drops are coming in hot.
Is that your dumb question?
I was just gonna say that, Doug. That's what you called up for? Did I ever have the fucking?
Tim, it's like these guys call in with their dumb questions, but you know what I say?
Doug, calm. Just go ahead. But
say?
I'm warning you to. I'm warning you.
Am I too loud?
No, you just came in hot yelling about.
What do you mean hot?
Just
I
telling
came in hot yelling.
You came in hot yelling.
You know what? Who are Buddha judge?
You came in hot with the drop.
Who are Buddha? Who are Buddha?
Who are
judge?
Buddha judge?
You. Okay.
Come on, that was.
All right. Is that all you wanted to know?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, my friend. This is not making the Best of Office Hours YouTube clip compilation. Your call. Believe me.
I'll let you go.
Okay, bye.
You make a good point.
All right. We'll keep going through some calls.
One more smart comment out of you, and I'm going to bust you up.
I'm just going to sit here and laugh at Doug's drops because sometimes I don't get to hear him all the way through. And also, also there's quite a bit of competition now because Doug's got to prove himself. Suddenly you can hear where Doug's, you can be like, well, was that Doug or Vic? Now you know it's either Doug or nobody. So we'll have to do a
I'm going to ease off. I'm going to chill on the drops this time.
Well, we'll see. We'll just.
I went in hard last.
We'll go the direction of the show goes. Speaking of Doug, I also want to plug your Little Joy video that you put out. That was very funny and very creative.
Thank you, Tim.
Great song. If you want to play that throughout the show at some point, feel free. Put that in your drop library. Okay, who's on the call? Anybody?
Hello, Tim.
Hello, how are you? What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Cameron. I'm calling from Painted Post, New York.
Painted Post, New York. Sounds familiar. Have we talked before?
We have.
Okay.
We have. You had a friend who painted Post, New York.
Painted Post, New York. I'm remembering, but what can I do for you today?
Well, see, I do a lot of woodworking myself.
You're like Jesus Christ, the carpenter.
I'm a carpenter, yeah. So I go through a lot of these pieces of equipment. Like I got these hand sander and these belt sanders and strip sanders.
And then you do a Bernie Sanders?
When I'm done with them, I don't know what to do with them. Like, do I throw them in the trash? Do I just throw them out my yard? Mm-hmm. So I got this Scottish neighbor who I've been asking about, what do I do with these things? And he says, you got to burn ye sanders. Burn ye sanders.
Got it. Thank you. Thank you for calling. Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you for listening.
All right. Next caller, please. Calls are coming in good right now. Knock on wood. Oh, my God. Somebody's calling from the airport. Yes, sir. Yes, Captain. Who's calling?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I can't see your video.
I don't give a shit.
Okay. This is Biff Henderson here. How are you doing?
Hello, Biff. What's going on, man? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Galway, Ireland.
Aye, me matey. Aye.
Irish.
Yeah, Irish, yeah. The Irishman is playing in theaters, don't you know? What you got for me, pal?
Well, I was just wondering, do you have any updates on Mark?
My friend, this is not an on-cinema chat show. If you want to have that kind of conversation, call in tomorrow night to Justin Gaynor's wonderful Big Unhappy Family on the Adult Swim streaming service. There you can get into all your on-cinema chatter. I do not comment on the show, except to say that the wonderful season finale of On Cinema Season 11 begins Wednesday night. I just approved the final edit of that, and it is wondrous. It is a wondrous finale to a wonderful season. Thank you all for watching.
Is there any more film plans in the future?
Nothing right now. We do what we usually do. We take a break. You assess. You dream what can happen next. You fiddle around with ideas.
And would it be possible for you guys to take a tour over to Ireland anytime soon?
Nothing in the near future. Gotta let you go.
All right, take care.
Bye now.
Cut the tape. Cut.
God, it was like a fucking press conference with him.
He's got the helicopter out there, too, it sounded like.
I always wanted to do this thing. Eric and I were going to do this years ago. Do you remember? We might have tried to get you to work on this maybe at some point early, Doug.
Yes, sir.
There was this special footage of behind it was like extra footage on the 2001 Space Odyssey DVD. That was a press conference. That was Arthur C. Clarke and the producer, I think, not Stanley Kubrick, but it was one of these classic 60s in a hotel conference room, like tons of mics up there. And there was this really great voice. All the questions, they had that sort of like 50s reporter kind of tone to it,
Right.
But the real deal, because it was really from then. And I always wanted to use some of those audio clips for something like where we were being asked these questions, because all the questions were like, "Do you think we'll be living on Mars by the year 2001? Your comments, please." It was really that kind of tone. But the questions were like really science-y, like about future and space and stuff. But it would be funny if we just set up a camera on us and just like said, "Well, we were here to announce a new show. Do we have any questions out there?" And you just hear the audio of, "Do you think that kind of thing." Never happened.
Tim, you screwed me with these these nomination puns.
You're just totally lost.
Well, I'm looking through the list, and it's just nothing great here.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Sorry to hear that. Well,
I mean, I could either spend time engaging with you or like racking my brain on Cory Booker rhymes.
Well, you know what this show needs, though, is a booker to get guests on. Right?
That's right.
Another plug. I'm just so many plugs, and most of them aren't even about my direct stuff. But speaking of Cory and Brendan's latest short film is so great. You can find that somewhere on their sites. Cory and Brendan.
Who?
O'Hare. You know those guys.
Oh,
Cory
those boys.
Yeah, Branchburg. Their last one about raking leaves. You'd love it, Doug. It's really up your alley. Very funny. One more call, a couple more calls, and then we'll get to
Tim.
Sam Dewey.
I feel like we're just biding our time till we get to Dewey.
What is up with this Saturday Night Live show? I watched their.
You could at least recognize my pun, and
no, I didn't. Well, it reminded me of why I watched their spoof of the Democratic primary. I don't understand something, because they've got this Woody Harrelson playing Joe Biden, and he's not even trying in any way to do an impression of him. I don't get it. Why? What do we love? Do we all love Woody Harrelson so much that it doesn't matter that he's just sort of showing up and putting these fake teeth in and reading from cue cards? Like, what is Woody Harrelson that great?
He's got tenure.
People lose it when they see
tenure as an actor. He can just show up,
and then
he's
also
got the gig.
Also they've got they keep bringing Larry David back to do my mind is so trapped with Larry Sanders and Larry David, Larry Sanders, Bernie Sanders. They keep on having to come back, and now he's just doing Larry David impression. Like, Larry David is just doing Larry David at this point now. He's not even trying, because I think they're so scared to get anywhere near the great James Adomian's Bernie impression, right? Aristotle nodding his head.
Checkmate.
You're so worried, and it's very strange.
But did you see Adomian talking to Bernie?
Of course.
Bernie on Bernie?
He's terrific at it.
Yeah, I could do it too if I really wanted to. I could get in there and just, I can do impressions, do the top one.
But, obviously it's not as good as him.
With his little pointy head.
But what was that?
Woody from Cheers.
Oh. Listen, I got nothing against Woody Harrelson, but it feels like the whole place erupts like as if like, Paul McCartney comes out there or something. Like, oh my God.
Should have been more like this.
Holy shit. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's Woody Harrelson. He's well liked.
This is the funniest man that I've ever seen in my life.
But I don't know. It just seems like, is it that big a deal that these guys? I mean, Maya Rudolph does a fine Kamala Harris.
I'll say.
But her hair is right. Her hair is sort of different, And then and so I made fun of this on Twitter, but Doug, they made a Bernie Sanders, Larry David doing Larry Sanders doing David Byrne, David Sanders, Larry David.
I'm
Sanders,
confused now.
Larry David doing Bernie Sanders made a clapper joke. A joke about how come these people in the rich, the 1%, have the clapper, and the rest of the people don't have the clapper. I'm like, the clapper? Who's goofing on the clapper in 2019? Some lazy shit. I mean, is Larry David writing his own material?
David's doing clapper material?
Also, sorry, folks, but if I'm Larry David, And they're calling me, and he's living a beautiful life out here in California. And it's like the 19th time they're calling him, going like, "Can you get to New York and put on the wig and do this?" Like, what is he getting out of that? Doesn't he want to like fuck off and be like, you know, I've done this already. He wants to be on,
do stuff. He wants to perform.
Everyone wants to be on TV. So
what do you think?
bad.
He just wants to like sit around and feel useless and just wither away?
Wouldn't it be fucking? I mean, listen, you're going. Is he going private? Is he going private? Is it a private jet to New York to do?
Yes, it's definitely private.
Private.
Yeah.
It's not a. I'll have to ask Fred because Fred was on that too. He was doing Bloomberg. He does a fine. Fred's a great. He's a great comedian. He's a great impressionist. He's a great interpreter of people's behaviors. One of the masters. So I'm not going to dock him. I'm going to say he does a great job.
Hey, folks, welcome.
And so what is going on there? I'm sort of critical, but I'm sort of just more curious. Like, if I was Larry Sanders, they get the call, "Hey, we got this idea for," he's like, "I'm doing Bernie Sanders again? I mean, really? Do I need to do this?"
Wait, who are you doing right now?
I don't know. I lost it. I'm just doing like a general New York guy. Fucking guy. Anyways, bring Adomian and Antomic in to do all the shit on that show. If I'm running that show, and who
just
gives a shit
get
about
Adomian on the show,
Woody Harrelson,
right? Get him on the cast.
But whatever, we can sit in here,
right, Tim?
Huh?
Get him on the cast, Adomian.
I mean, some people be like, maybe you don't want to be on that cast. You know what I mean? It's a big pain in the ass.
Why?
I don't know. Staying up all night. Hey, I love that story there's a great story from Larry David at his tenure at Saturday Night Live when he's like midweek when they're all writing and all that stuff and they're like cramming and you know, he's like, "I did my work and I'm leaving at like 7 o'clock at night or something." And people are like, "Where are you going, man?" He goes, "I'm going home. I wrote all my things. I feel it's good. It's good enough for this show." And they go, No, man. We just, we pull all-nighters on Wednesdays or whatever it is. You know, we you know, we work it. It's like, all right, well, I'll see you tomorrow. You know, like, fuck that. Spend 2 hours on a joke. Come on, man. Life's too short. Ladies and gentlemen. Hey, thanks, everybody. This is the end of the show.
Right.
I want to thank musical guest Beach Park. And Woody Harrelson came by. And, of course, Larry David. Thanks, everybody. Good night. All right.
Shut up.
Let's do this. Let's test this. Let's try to get Sam Dewey on the line. See if this
works.
works.
We could have been taking regular calls, right? From callers, more callers.
Yeah, I know, but I got onto a rant. I got into a whole spiel. Spiel my tuchus.
Ask questions.
We're going to try this. I feel like, again, it's not going to work. We used to be able to call personal VIPs.
What do you think you're contributing to the show?
Nothing. So Aristotle's working on that. We'll let him work through the kinks. And it's a nice day to do a fun show. Oh.
Hello.
What's this now?
What the hell? There's two people on?
Who's this?
You're working through the kinks or not?
This is of Samuel Dewey.
Hello? Hello, who's there?
This is Samuel Dewey.
Oh, hi, Sam. Sam, how you doing? This is Tim Heidecker from Office Hours. And we saw that Mr. Donald Trump mentioned you in his tweet this morning. And we wanted to get you on the phone to talk about that and give us your perspective on what's going on with the impeachment and everything. It's good to have you on the show.
Quoted by the President of the United States. It's a pleasure to be here, Tim. Business is going through the roof.
Mm-hmm. And what is your business? I think the issue is we don't know. Like, he kind of quoted you without any kind of context about who you are and what you do and who.
I'd say congratulations.
So what is? Give us a little background on you, Sam, Mr. Dewey.
Yeah, I'm a lawyer. I'm a Fox News pundit. I live in the D.C. area.
Cool.
I think the impeachment hearing is unfair.
Okay, can you speak to that? Like, what about it do you think is unfair, or is it just?
Well, it's not fair to present. This is the president. You need to show some respect and fairness to him. and it's
People
just not
think
fair
I'm
to have.
controversial.
Do you think he committed anything that deserve? Did he do anything wrong? Like he keeps saying about like this impeachment, or that this call he had with the Ukrainian President Zelensky was a perfect call. Do you agree with that assessment that it was a perfect call?
I mean, nice guy.
I didn't hear the call, but I assume it was perfect. If he says it was perfect,
You saw the transcript. You can assess the tenor of the call, or
in my legal expertise, I would say that it was fairly perfect.
Thank you.
Okay, you reviewed the transcript, and
I had my girl read it. I had one of my secretaries read it to me.
Okay.
And the answer is.
Yeah. So you assessed your legal opinion. What is your specialty in the law? What is your
you name it. There's a lot of personal injury cases that I've handled. I sued a grocery store last week. I had a client who slipped and fell.
Okay.
Also
you're handsome,
some patent.
You're rich.
Do you have a relationship with the president in any way, or he just is a kind of a fan of yours from being on TV, or do you know him in any way?
I have a professional. I know him from TV, from The Apprentice. I think we all know his work from there.
Mm-hmm.
And also the presidency. And we both go on Fox News, so we deal with a lot of the same people, the producers, and so forth.
Well, I don't have to really get into specifics.
Okay. Interesting. Nice to talk to you. What do you think is next for this whole impeachment procedure?
Well, I think Adam Schiff needs to step down because he's completely out of his jurisdiction. And Nancy Pelosi, she's just playing politics as usual. And they need to be nice. All these other impeachment hearings you got with Nixon and
so, are you okay?
Clinton.
Yeah.
They were nice about it. They were fair about it.
What's going on here? Hey, when do you? How did you get involved with Fox? Like, you're just an attorney. Why are you on the show? Why are you being? Like, there's lots of attorneys. How did you get involved with those people?
I was Sean Hannity. His sister was. She works with my cousin.
Okay.
And they needed a guy. They needed a guy to come in. And talk about impeachment hearing. And since I'm a lawyer, I said I'll do
it. All right. Nice to talk to you. Can we count on you because obviously you have the end of the inquiry, and next steps is now they're preparing, potentially looking like they are preparing articles of impeachment. And then what do you think you're going to see when it goes to the Senate? Can you give us any of your thoughts on that?
Well, I think that there's a challenge with the Senate, since the Senate is controlled by Republicans still, who are the only decent, thin people, I might add. I think this is where the Democrats' anger comes from.
Okay.
If you look around, the Democrats are generally fatter than Republicans.
I didn't notice that.
And when you're heavy set, a lot of your anger comes from self-loathing. And that's why I think the Democrats are being so mean and vindictive about this impeachment here. It's going to be very uncivilized if we keep Adam Schiff, who's way out of his on this.
Then there's something wrong with you. You certainly.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Dewey, Sam Dewey, Mr. Dewey, Esquire, one of the great lawyers we have now.
Thank you.
And
thank you, Tim. Thank you for your time. And follow me on Twitter at Sam Dewey Law.
Thank you. At Law. All right. Great to hear from you, Sam. Have a great happy Thanksgiving to you.
Happy Thanksgiving coming up. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you.
Okay. I just want to address something very interesting.
Thank
you for listening.
Somebody in this chat, I should not look at this chat. It drives me nuts. Somebody said that I drink Starbucks because it's like a status. I don't know what that means. I mean, first of all, I have an announcement to make. This isn't Starbucks. This is
What's your announcement?
The announcement is this isn't Starbucks. This is from the coffee shop across the street, a locally owned small business that makes delicious, great coffee and great pastries too, marron. And
Tim, do you ever drink that stuff that?
Do I drink Starbucks when I want to get a coffee and there's a Starbucks there, which there is on every corner? I'm gonna get one. I don't give a shit. So fuck you.
Tim, did you ever drink that stuff? It's like an ancient tea. It's like kombucha, klobuchar, or something like that.
Mm-hmm. That's a reach.
Well, guys, you made up this dumb game.
I
now
know.
I'm trying to fit shit in. I'm trying to help.
Well, I had a interesting situation years ago. This is a long time ago now.
Uh-huh.
And a friend of mine was in love with this girl.
Okay.
And, he wasn't sure what to do, whether they should get hitched or he should just keep seeing her for a while. I said, how do you feel about her for real? And he goes, I love her. I love her to bits, and I want to be with her the rest of my life. And then I said, well, then marry Ann Williamson.
I was doing a Mary Ann Williamson in my head just before you did that.
Mary Ann Williamson. That was her name, Ann Williamson. Sorry, Doug. That's what we got today. That's all we got.
Mine was better.
Well, let's hear it. I don't mind hearing it.
Well, this lead singer from the Black Eyed Peas, will.i.am, did you know that he has this son? and his name is Ann.
His name is Ann?
Yeah.
How do you like that these days? With the gender issues.
I know.
Right?
And then there was and his his fiance is actually named Brian, but her name is Brian. And Brian wants to marry will.i.am's son. Mary Ann. will.i.am's son.
Very good. Well, there's this, there's sort of like peach a la mode,
Uh-huh.
And there's a famous ranch in California, Harris Ranch, that's where they grow a lot of beef. They grow a lot of beef. A beef farm.
Uh-huh.
I retract. I pull out. I was trying to do some kind of cam.
Well, Tim, there was a guy who needed roadside assistance yesterday. I was driving, and he did have a flat tire. And he looked like he was struggling. So, you know what? I pulled over. I helped. And his name was Tom, and I helped Tom's tire. Tom's tire got changed thanks to me.
Tom's tire.
This is the first time I'm hearing about Tom's tire, by the way. I didn't know some of these people existed.
Tom Steyer is this billionaire, another one of these billionaires who he ran a whole...
Well, we should have a billionaire president, right? I mean...
He ran a whole anti-Trump campaign, like he funded a thing to get to stop Trump.
Right, I remember that guy. Yeah,
Tom Steyer, and then so now he's running. I don't think he's got a shot. I mean, he seems kind of weird.
I had this friend Joe who said that Tom Steyer had a great shot at it, and I'm thinking, Joe says stack.
This guy's running for president.
Tim, look. Joe says Dak?
Okay. All right. Let's take a human being.
I need Vic here for some courtesy laughs.
I know. Let's get a call. I know. You know what I do love about Vic?
Also, I don't know who Joe says Dak is.
C-Stack.
Wait, what do you love about Vic?
I love his
Let's hear about what's so great about him.
Well, no, I love his natural laugh. Like when he's laughing at us. He's got a good laugh. Who's there? He's like Jackie Martling from the Howard Stern Show a little bit. Who's there?
Hey guys, it's Uncle Phil here. How are
y'all? Uncle Phil is back, Doug. Isn't that cool?
What's up, Uncle Phil?
Oh, not too much.
What is going on?
What a great get. Sam Dewey was a great guest. Great get for you guys.
Nice to have him on. I mean, maybe he could be our sort of legal expert. We have the medical doctor. We could have the legal expert Sam Dewey call in from time to time, give us updates on the law.
I like his big wide suit that he seems to wear in every picture he's in. I don't know if you guys have noticed that.
I saw his collar. He's got this modern collar. Doug, can you bring that up? I mean,
wait, who?
Sam Dewey.
What about it?
If you look up pictures of him, he wears this kind of suit that's like
the same one every time.
Yeah, it's this really wide.
It's just like that's spelled.
Yeah, Dewey. Yeah, here. It's. You see this over here, Doug? It's right there. Can you look at my computer? See, look at that collar, straight across.
As wide as it can be. The wider, the better.
Hey, you know what? I'm not hating on that collar.
Here, I'm going to do something controversial for office hours. I'm just going to do this because we can't. There it is.
He does.
That is a nice collar. Next caller. Next caller. That's what his wife says when he's showing his outfits from his closet. He wears that, and she goes, "Next caller."
Next caller.
What's going on with you, Phil? How's everything?
Pretty good. It's been a long time since I've talked to you guys. I grew a beard over the summer.
Nice.
Kind of nice. Have you guys seen, Trump's been holing up in his private quarters recently?
I saw a headline today that said he's not doing much work out of the Oval Office these days. He's staying upstairs.
It's a little concerning, it kind of gives it sort of a Shining sort of vibe that's going on there, where he's just sort of in the hotel there, and Barron's probably got voices that is coming out of his mouth and things like that. So a little disturbing over there.
Very concerning. We think he might be suffering from dementia. There's people that talk about that potential, right? That his mind is starting to go.
Maybe he likes corners. That's why he's not in that Oval Office.
There you go, Doug.
He likes corners.
I'm going to send you into the corner with your dunce cap. Doug, did you bring your dunce cap, or am I going to have to go out and get one?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Can you imagine? There used to be a time in our country, probably in the world, when boys and girls were sent to the corner to wear a dunce cap.
I mean, we should have dunce caps.
You know what I heard about you, Phil, is that you're remarkably tall. How tall are you?
I'm a solid 6'4". Could go even taller depending on the height of my soles.
Well, let's not exaggerate. Just what's your height? You don't have to condition it with the soles. You're 4.
Well,
6'4".
6'4" with no shoes on, but you're always wearing shoes, so you're always a little bit taller than that. So.
Not David Byrne when he's doing his new show. You see David Byrne is out there and doesn't wear shoes.
I'd be as tall as I could possibly get, so yeah. I don't know why he would go around barefoot like that.
Well, Phil, what else do you got?
We really do.
What did you think about, the subject of our Comedy Bang Bang appearance came up?
Yeah, last week. Yeah.
And what was your take on that bit as a bit?
You're not a nice person.
I thought it was great, but I have a very specialized, very unique, refined sense of humor. I understand that it's not going to be for everybody. I thought it was. I got very conflicting responses on that, and it made me real paranoid. Really? From who? Who's getting in touch with you? People like fans, obviously on Cinema and Office Hours fans.
Yeah, just the general consensus. I got people saying it was the worst bit they'd ever heard in their life. Others that said it was the funniest bit they'd ever heard in their life.
That seems to be my life. People love it or hate it. There's no in the middle. No middle ground.
There is no middle. But I was going to share a quick story, if you had time for a quick story, about the very first...
Well, let me just... One thing before we move on from that subject is I just want to point out that a little bit like Office Hours, with that thing, it's like I get booked to go do that. I'm not exactly racking my brain for the best bit in the world to do on that thing, you know?
Right.
Like the stakes are fairly low. I said, what's the first thing that comes to mind? And that's what happens is that comes to mind. All right, well, let's try that. It couldn't be, is a chance it's going to go well, a chance it's going to suck. And then I got you involved, and I thought, well, that's kind of funny. But, you know, I mean, that's about it. I'm not sitting around with Larry David and Woody Harrelson and Lorne Michaels and going, how are we going to make this the greatest thing ever? Staying up all night.
I fully understand.
Okay. Well, what's your story, Phil? I've got a very special guest calling in 5 minutes, so give us a quick one.
And the answer is?
No disrespect
This will be over. Yeah, this will be over. So just the danger of doing bets, especially like on this show, talking to you, because in the very beginnings, you know, you're not one who would tolerate a bit or a gag from a caller.
Right.
And probably the first interaction I ever had with you was via email, and you and Eric were on this podcast a long time ago. And it was, I guess, back in the days when you guys were just on pretty much any podcast that would ask you to be on, because it was the show was titled like Dinner Etiquette.
Oh, yeah. I do remember that. Or a dinner party or something like that, right?
Yeah, something like that.
It's like an NPR kind of
Dinner party download.
Dinner party download.
Okay, there you go. So I don't mean to disparage them if they're well known, but so they said Tim and Eric are going to be on the show. Submit your questions. We may ask a question.
Oh, wow.
Tim and Eric.
Okay. I'm
so
intrigued.
I thought this is a great opportunity for me to run a great gag up the flagpole. These guys are going to love it. And I think Thanksgiving was around the corner because you guys were promoting like bedtime stories or something around that, October, November. So it was. So my email was, if you and Eric are at a Thanksgiving dinner, and the host mistakenly serves you a football disguised as a turkey.
A what disguised as a turkey?
A football. Kind of harking back to a Stooges gag, right?
Right.
And so that was the first email question out of the box from the host to you guys, and you guys ripped into this thing for a good 5 minutes, saying you're not going to answer stupid questions like this. This was the worst thing you'd ever heard of.
Wow.
And
that goes to this thing of like, the purpose of that is for you to sound funny. There's nothing that I can do with that.
That's right.
You know, there used to be all these questions that were always sort of funny questions, quote unquote funny questions, that were basically a yes/no question. You know, it was like, you want me to say yes or no, and we would just go, yes or no. There you go. You got your funny question out of the way. Set me up so I could be funny. This is why you have me.
We all can grow and we all can learn.
That's right.
I laughed about it so much because of the extent of time you guys took to dismantle it. But then the host never asked another question for the rest of the show.
Oh, right. Then it just became Eric and I's filibuster hour.
Right. But it completely killed the bit for them, and they never asked another question.
And we were never asked on again, or maybe we were. Who knows? I continue to give my time graciously to all sorts of things and podcasts and whatnot. That's the charity I do. I don't give to any charity. I just make myself available for podcasts. Did Doug's friend Brendan Wardell's show. That guy, whatnot.
But you won't come on the Poundcast, but you go on.
I've been on that show more than anybody.
What?
But
I've been on that show more than anybody.
What show?
The Poundcast.
You called in once, maybe.
Dude, we did a whole Rock and Roll Gary on that live, like twice. Twice.
Okay.
Now, are you saying that Rock and Roll Gary isn't me, and that somehow?
But you're going in as his character, as his loophole, and you go on Wardell. No questions asked. Fully, for Rock and Roll Gary, I got to come to you. I got to meet in some weird place. You're probably going into his personal studio in Echo Park, aren't you?
I went to his fucking house, his apartment.
See?
That was not fun, by the way. Go into somebody else's apartment at 10 in the morning, all their shit's out. I don't want to sit anywhere. No, I mean, not like it was gross.
Hey, folks, welcome.
But come on. Get a podcast studio. All All right, this is exciting. We're going to call our next caller. We're going to connect. Doug, I've not told you this because you're going to freak out. On the call, on office hours, Academy Award winner, Al Pacino. Academy Award winner Al Pacino. Wow. We're going to be talking to him about his career, about The Irishman, one of my favorite movies of the year, and anything else under the sun that Mr. Pacino wants to discuss. So we're going to try to get him on the line. Very gracious of Mr. Pacino. And I think now we can do...
Who?
Hello?
Oh, sorry. Guess who?
Hello. Well, I know who. It's Al Pacino.
Hello.
He's my guest on...
Oh, my God.
Hello. How you doing, sir?
How you doing there?
Yeah, doing good. Yeah. nice to speak with you, sir.
Yes,
let me ask you.
Finally.
Yeah.
Finally, I'm on the air with the great Tim.
Oh,
yes. Lots of great Tim.
What an honor.
Where you from?
Oh, my God. It's a fucking echo.
Yeah, no, I know. Well, Doug here is playing a little joke here. He's playing some sound bites to you. But I want to be respectful. Doug is the guy on the show. It doesn't matter. Don't worry about it.
That's right.
He's a troublemaker. Mr. Pacino, what an honor to have you here. You're one of the great actors of all time, and you've got a new movie coming out, The Irishman. I want to talk to you about that. I've seen it. I loved it. What's my first question? I'm so nervous.
Well, first off, it's a documentary, so don't get that. Come on, let's get it right, pal.
It's a documentary. I don't think so, sir. I saw the movie. It is a beautiful film from Martin Scorsese. What was it like to work with Martin Scorsese and and Robert De Niro and those guys? What was that like?
Oh my God, there are so many good names, big names. It stars me. I'm in the movie. Mm-hmm. Let's see, who else we got? Robert De Niro, you know him. Mm-hmm. Meet the Fockers. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
Ray Romano.
Okay.
Everybody loves him, right? See what
very
I did
good.
there?
Yes, very nice, Mr. Pacino.
Just a little humor to lighten the mood, Mm-hmm. And who else? We got Joe Piscopo. He's great in it. Great actor.
Yes.
Stupid fucking cunt.
No, wait a minute now.
How dare you? Where'd you learn your trade?
You idiot.
Let's go back, Mr. Pacino, because you got your start. You're a New York actor. You got your start doing some films like Needle and Panic Park and others. But your big breakout role was The Godfather. How did you get involved with that movie?
Well, I'll tell you what. I forget the guy who directed it. Great guy, though. Frank? Is it Frank?
No, I think it's...
Francis
Ford Coppola, yeah. Francis F. Coppola.
Mr. Coppola. I haven't seen him in about 25 years, but he was a great guy. And I was a small-time actor in New York City. We do little bit parts here and there. Black box theater is what you call it,
Uh-huh.
You understand?
Yeah.
So I was doing small little parts. What am I? What is there, a fucking parrot in there?
All right, Mr. Pacino, please, Doug, have some.
Jesus Christ!
Have some respect. Some respect for one of the great actors of our generation on the lines.
I'm very sorry, but
somebody asked a question, Mr. Pacino. A question from the audience here. Does Al Pacino? Mm-hmm. This would be interesting. Does Al Pacino do a Yoda impression? You've seen the Star Wars films, right? Do you ever do
Yoda?
Yeah. He's a little...
Let me see. Yeah, the little green fucker.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the little puppet
I
from
know
the
that
stove.
guy.
Yeah.
Frank Oz does that voice, right? Frank Oz?
Yes, that's correct.
I knew Frank back in the day. We worked together on a film.
Okay.
Let's see. Yoda. Yeah. Take your lightsaber and shove it up your ass!
That does not sound like Yoda at all.
I'm very sorry.
Yeah.
Well,
I guess
don't
the answer
do a
is
Yoda
no.
impression.
Okay. What was it like working with Adam Sandler? You did a picture with him.
Adam Sandler. Yeah, we did a movie called Little Nicky. I played his father, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct?
Yes.
I don't really remember.
Okay.
What show am I on? First off, what show am I on?
This is Office Hours. Tim Heidecker's Office Hours, a morning show.
Oh.
Yeah.
A lot of great Tims out there. We got. Let's see. Let's name all the great Tims.
That's
Tim
a good.
Matheson.
That's a fun game. We got
Tim Blake Nelson.
Tim Allen.
You remember him?
Yes.
Tim Kazurinsky.
Yeah. Okay. Doug, you have a Tim?
Conway.
Tim Conway.
Oh, yeah, Tim Conway. Tim Allen. How about that fucker?
Yeah, he's something else. So,
am I allowed to curse on this show? I'm very sorry.
No, yeah, it's open source. It's great. Anything you want to say,
Great.
any dishing you can do. Anybody that you want to sort of just, I'm kind of sort of a shock jock, Mr. Pacino. I don't mind us getting into causing some feuds or getting some who's your least favorite guy out there in Hollywood? But going back to the old days, even.
Oh, my God, there's so many.
This is Mr.
So
Frank
many
Slade.
names. Let's see. I had a problem with, my ex-wife, Beverly D'Angelo. You remember her?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I had a big problem with her.
Okay.
She would always want to go bowling with me.
Uh-huh.
I like to bowl by myself.
I understand
I go
that.
bowling. I like to, let's see. I'm trying to think of an actor I had a problem with.
What about
Adam
Dustin
Sandler? Great guy.
What about Dustin Hoffman? Any opinions on Dustin Hoffman? You never really worked with him. I wonder why that was.
Yeah, well, he's not a very good actor.
So Dustin, you're saying, this is interesting, you're saying Dustin Hoffman is not a very good actor.
Same character every friggin' time.
Well, a lot of people say that about you, sir, if you look at some of your choices you
Oh,
made.
what a big man you are.
Okay, all right, calm down.
I'm a phenomenon.
All right.
That's right. I like this guy. I like this guy who's on the phone.
Yeah, this is Doug. Yeah, he's a big fan of yours.
Hi, Mr. Pacino. It's an honor.
Doug?
Do you have any questions for Mr. Pacino, Doug?
Well, you kind of asked him. Why don't you like Mr. Hoffman?
Well, the guy's a prick, to be honest with you.
What's the worst thing he's done to you?
$74. We worked. I'll tell you a guy who's great. Let's talk about John Cazale.
John Cazale, yes.
Do you remember John Cazale?
Of
Great
course.
actor.
Yeah, he was in Dog Day Afternoon with you and a number of pictures with you. Godfather, of course.
Well, John was great. We had a great time working on Dog Day. Attica. You remember the line?
Yes,
Say it with me.
Attica.
Right.
That's amazing to be able to do that with you. That's an honor.
Oh, yeah. Tim, I was just thinking about something.
Go ahead.
You and I should get together and have coffee sometime, huh?
I would love that. What an honor. Do you live in California?
Oh, my God.
Do you live in Los
I'll
Angeles?
buy you a pack of gum. I'll show you how to chew it.
Oh, yes, sir.
What do you say I buy you a cup of coffee?
Yeah, that would be an honor. All right, Mr.
Wait,
Pacino.
I have a question. I have one more question. What do you think about presidential award winner John Voight?
Yes, what's your thoughts on Mr. Voight, who got a big honor from the president the other day?
Oh, he's a total prick.
Oh, boy.
Total prick. But great actor. Great in a movie called Cornbread, Earl, and Me, which didn't star me, but it was a great John Voight film.
Great.
Oh, my God.
Have you ever gotten a presidential honor, any kind of medals or anything like that from the office of the White House?
I'm not sure. I can't really remember.
Yeah.
These days are a bit tough for me.
All
but,
right. Well, Mr. Pacino,
I got a question for you. I got a question for
go
you.
Ahead. Go ahead.
What do you admire about me?
Well, I guess you're you're acting. Yeah, I mean, first of all, you are so good in The Irishman. Your portrayal of Jimmy Hoffa is phenomenal. It's very touching to see you, and you're just one of my heroes. I love everything you've done. Pretty much, I can't think of a bad thing to say about you. So,
well, I feel honored to be on Tim Allen's podcast.
No,
thank
sir,
you
it's
very
Tim
much.
Heidecker. All right, listen, you take care, sir, and
All right.
I'll take you up on that offer to get a beverage with you. It'd be an honor. All right.
Hey, how about a panini with Pacino or a panini with Pacini, huh? How about that?
All right, well, we'll see. I appreciate that
Okay,
play with words.
motherfucker.
All right, thank you,
Very,
Mr. Pacino.
very nice.
All the
I'll
best.
speak to you soon, Tim. Bye. Bye,
now.
Doug.
Okay,
I
bye
had
now.
coffee half an hour ago.
All right, good. Let's take a caller from the audience. That was fun.
How are you going to top that? I mean, who can follow up?
I don't know.
He doesn't have a nickname, like.
Papacino.
Oh, it's Papacino?
I call him Papa. I don't know if anyone else does. Anyone on the line?
Hello?
Hello. Who's there, darling?
Hello.
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 Who's there?
Oh, hey, it's me.
Hey, who's me?
Hey, it's Chad from St. Louis. I had a quick question for you.
Go ahead, Chad.
I'm sorry, I couldn't tell if I was on or not. So, you have a lot of big talk about Saturday Night Live. So I was wondering,
big talk.
I'm riffing
here. I'm just sharing my thoughts. I'm sharing my opinions.
You need re-education.
I understand. So my question is, if you were given the opportunity, to do the monologue for Saturday Night Live, what would you do to really knock it out of the park? What would be your planning process, and what would you do?
I would get Phil Braun involved. We'd do a goof where I try to do the baseball stats bit live. It's never been done live. Oh, here we go. Well, we've already done this already, Chad from St. Louis. Ladies and gentlemen.
Those are just.
But that was
you
the
did
intro.
the names.
I didn't do my.
You did the name. I want to hear your bit.
No, we already did that. We already did it. Remember, we said it was a whole bit about people don't know who I am.
Oh, okay. Because it wasn't too memorable.
No.
Next caller.
Next caller. Thanks, Chad. Next caller, Sam Dewey. Oh, by the way, I wanted to plug this guy. Doug, do you know Arthur Russell?
Next caller.
You mean the singer of the band Love? Wait, is that his name?
No, that's somebody. That's good. That's some Arthur Lee.
That's Arthur Lee. Who's Arthur Russell?
Arthur Russell is fascinating. He is this guy from
cellist.
He is. I
looked him up.
Yeah. Well, the strange thing is he is a. I guess he was a cellist. He was sort of a avant-garde music guy in the 70s and 80s in New York. He was sort of like in that Philip Glass, Steve Reich world. But he was also, and David Byrne and those guys, like kind of a New York art guy. But he made a lot of, like a very broad range of music. He made some sort of weird stuff. Yeah, here we go. What do you got? Is this?
Oh, this is kind of new.
So, yeah, this is what I'm trying to tell you.
Tell me.
He made all this music, but most of it didn't come out. And then he started veering into like dance music and disco and stuff and electronic music.
I like this guy.
And he put out one album and then Doug, he died of AIDS.
No.
He died of AIDS in 92.
Oh boy!
But they had all this. They have all this recording of stuff from him. So you have that kind of electronic stuff and sort of experimental stuff. But then, like, you have songs like this, which this new album called "Iowa Dream" just came out, and I just kind of dove in, and beautiful, like, oh shit, hold on.
So somebody found these tapes?
No, I don't know if somebody found them or.
Oh, they've been sitting on them, waiting for them to drop.
I'm not sure why my computer's not playing music.
Well, I got this. You did it yourself? You mean that's
play on Iowa Dream?
Right.
Put on Words of Love. Track number 7.
Ay, Words
why
of
isn't
Love.
This playing?
I don't know.
It's on this computer. Oh, here it is. I have it.
Oh, you got it.
Words of love, the heartache would instantly remain, but the pain would be gone.
Great, like, oh, this is.
I wish I could see what you've got.
It's like kind of a Townes Van Zandt kind of vibe to it.
Yeah.
This is great. You'll love this one.
I don't know about this one.
It's got a great melody.
Last Saturday afternoon, she and me could not agree. We got mad and both decided, lock the door, throw away the key.
Come on, that's good.
That's like Cat Stevens or something.
Barbara,
yeah, he's got all this great shit.
I wish I had a brother.
But then he's got shit that's like
and
totally.
He was here with me.
I don't know.
There's lots of things that we could do. We could feel.
But then he's got this kind of shit.
I'm so happy that I met you and can't be found.
It's just weird stuff, like so much to explore.
I like that diversity.
Yeah. So and then I tweeted about it. I go, wow, I just discovered this Arthur Russell. And of course, everybody's like, dude, of course, he's the greatest. Dude,
of course.
Dude,
I've been listening to him since '91.
Yeah, World of Echo. Everyone's like, you gotta listen to this. This is my favorite song. This is my favorite song I've ever written, dude. How did you not know about this? I'm like, and I think I'm cool. I think I'm Mr. Hip. So it just goes to show you.
Man, not Bob Dylan.
What else is out there that I don't even know about?
I got my own problems.
By the way, I just discovered when this goes up on the podcast later today, this will be podcast number 95. 95 shows we've done. Not all with this guy behind me. There's plenty from the beginning that was just me. So, sorry, old me.
Hey, I'm Doug, man.
But anyways, we're going to get to 100, and then we're going to go beyond that.
This message.
Let's take a call.
Hello?
Hello. Who there?
Hey, I got a question for
Who is it?
Tim and Doug.
Okay.
Where you calling
first
from?
of all, where are you calling from?
It's Chase from Nashville.
Hello, darling. We got such a great Southern audience. I mean, how many times? There's so many great people from the lovely South that call into our show every week.
I'm not ashamed to admit that I'm a Christian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering about the Star Force show or whatever. Is there any updates on that?
Moonbase.
Yeah, Moonbase.
I can't give you an update, but there will be an update soon.
So it's coming?
I can't talk about it.
Oh, okay.
You
And
understand
then
me? But I will be able to talk about
Poundhouse coming?
Oh, well, sure. I mean, we kind of make them just whenever we can.
I love that
just,
last one. I mean,
thanks, Tim.
It was classic.
You know, if one of these networks fools will, fund me,
if one of these
give
networks,
me a chance.
One of these networks folds.
You need to tell your boy Weinbach to make more videos.
Here's what I would do if I was going to host Saturday Night Live. Listen, pay attention, Doug.
Yes, sir.
He's going to host Saturday Night Live. Ladies and gentlemen, Tim Heidecker. I come out and go, ladies and gentlemen, quiet, quiet, quiet. Stop it. Turn the music off. Stop playing that fucking music, by the way. This is what I would do. Play that music. All right. Hey, thank you for having me. Turn the music. Stop playing. Stop playing. Who's the band leader?
Turn it up?
No, stop playing. Stop playing.
We can't. We have to finish the song out.
Stop it right now where I walk.
Should we stop it? Okay.
Stop it.
All right.
Okay, let me tell you something first, band leader, Joe, whatever your name is. Your music sucks. How about get something else going? Because whatever you're playing right now is boring and it's shitty. And what kind of music is that? Would you ever listen to this music at home? This garbage you're playing? So I'd lean into him for 2 minutes. Lean into that shit. This sucks, your music. Uptown jazz, Paul Schaefer shit. Then I'd turn to the audience and go, listen, you scumbags. What are you doing with your lives? Watching this shit live. This audience, you sycophants, creaming your jeans every time some Woody Harrelson comes out. Losers. I'd be out in the bars if I was you. I'd be out in the bars Saturday night in New York. I'd be out in the clubs raving it up. But you're here, we're here, I'm stuck here. I'm getting paid nothing to do this because I'm promoting something. I'm going to do something. I'm not going to fucking lift a finger to work on this. I'm going to show you one of my favorite things. Here is an episode of Pound House. And then roll the tape. And then I just let Doug...
Hey, Tim, are you a fan of Norm?
Fucking Norm is great.
You should get him on the show.
I don't know what's going on with him, though, because he started going after that guy. He was on... But I can't tell. He might have been not doing a bit. I couldn't tell. But it was...
Who is he going after?
He was going after the dude who kind of discovered that Shane Gillis racist stuff, the Asian stuff. And then Norm was giving him shit, giving this poor writer, this kid on Twitter who does, he's like a critic. He writes criticism of comedy.
Oh, God.
I think he's very funny. He's a funny guy. He's got funny
Good Lord.
opinions. But he's
Have you ever met Norm?
He's a troublemaker.
No.
No. is correct.
Oh.
But we've exchanged words on Twitter, friendly words. I
Oh.
kind of gave him shit because he was coming hard at this writer about how he's.
Oh.
But because he's kind of anti-PC, he's a little like, But I think Norm's a complicated guy.
Okay.
Maybe I don't know. I think he's just interesting. I think he's so fucking funny though. One of the funniest people ever. What are you doing for Thanksgiving, pal? I forgot to even talk about Thanksgiving. That's what everyone wants to talk about. That's what people want to hear about.
I had Thanksgiving on Saturday, and I'm chilling at home, shitting my pants currently.
Oh, what happened, buddy? You got his little stomach virus?
I got a stomach thing from my kid.
Ugh. I have not gotten stomach things from my kids. I've gotten colds out the wazoo.
Well, she just started kindergarten this year, and ever since, I'm like every other week, I've got something.
Vomiting?
Intense physical attraction to me.
Yes, yeah.
That's
Shitting my
sick,
pants, vomiting.
Fuck, man.
All
I'm
of it.
knocking on wood because I have not had the stomach flu thing in a few years. It's been like
A 9-year-old
more
boy.
than I think it's been probably 4 years or so since I've had any kind of like.
Yeah, this is the first time in maybe a decade I've been this sick.
I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do that anymore. Can't do it.
Yeah.
I forgot to tell you guys the big news that my son put a bead up his nose last week. He put a bead that you would make a bracelet out of, a big pink bead, I'd say about the size of a bean, like a big white bean. Put it right up his nose. He comes in, he goes, he's crying. I have a bee up my nose. I thought he was talking about a fucking bumblebee. The fuck are you talking about, dope? He's all sensitive about bugs and everything, like freaked out about bugs. I have a bee in my nose. I thought a bee or a bug went in his nose or something. Here it turns out he's got a fucking bead, big plastic bead stuck up his nose, and it's got a hole in the middle of it. So, it's like a bead.
He can still breathe. You just leave it in there.
So he can still breathe,
He's good.
but you can't suck it out because there's no because the air just goes right through the bead. So we ended up taking him to the emergency room, and they had to do all this really invasive. They had to stick this syringe up his nose basically and secrete this gel to pop it out.
Oh, yeah.
It was traumatic for him. It was like he was getting abducted by aliens. Listen, I got to take another call. It's almost 11:30.
I'll see you in Nashville. I'll be like fourth row back.
Oh, you're the best, buddy. Thanks. Everyone come out to the Tim and Eric World Tour starting in February here in the States. Go to timanderic.com for your ticket information. And we'll have a blast. We've got the show. The show is starting to come together, and it is some dumb stuff. Dumber than ever, Doug. Wish you were coming with me. Wish you were coming with me. That's all I can say about that.
That was one of the biggest questions people asked me when I went on tour.
Well, as the great George Harrison says, all things must pass. All things must pass away.
I'm Rick Perry.
Hi, Rick.
I approve this message.
All right, a couple more calls, and then it is vacation time. It is. Well, here's a question: do people go on vacation this week, or do they work all the way up to Wednesday, and then it's like a long weekend? Because my daughter has off from school. Right?
I like that sound.
It's annoying.
I think most people
work
until Wednesday, and then they get that 4-day weekend.
Right. But in Hollywood, in this town, well, anytime you get anywhere near a holiday, shit starts closing down way early. All right, who's on the line? All male calls today. Not fun. Not fun for me.
No one gives a fuck.
All stateside calls.
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, boy.
Uh-oh, this sounds like trouble.
This is George coming from the UK.
George Harrison, yes. Nice to hear from you. Why have you stopped touring and recording, Mr. Harrison? We've been a big fan of your music, and I understand you're not one for the limelight, but it seems like we'd love to hear a new record from you. Wouldn't it be great?
Never mind the Steve Bullocks. Tim?
Mm-hmm.
Anything?
Yeah, I got it.
Something there?
Sir, do you have anything to say to that? Sir George Harrison.
Sorry about that. I've been long dead.
Okay.
I think you've got some delay here.
All right. How can I help you today, George?
Got that international delay going on, obviously.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to say R.I.P. Daniel Johnston. He passed away recently. Very sad. What a guy.
All right. Way to bring some energy to the show with some good stuff. Good pep.
You got any more RIPs?
You got any more RIPs you want to place? Call in today to place your RIPs on notable people who have passed away in the past since we've been on break.
And, what are your feelings on Baby Yoda? Is Baby Yoda a mood?
You know, is he what? A nude?
Any way you can get closer to the speaker, to the mic.
I don't, like I told you last week, I don't give a shit about Star Wars. How am I going to give a shit about Baby Yoda and get pulled into their marketing schemes? Get off the fucking line!
Yes.
I'm not playing into this. I'm not going to, they're sucking you in. Don't you understand you're getting manipulated?
Why are you here?
You're getting played. You know what? You should just put on the voice of Kermit the
you
Frog.
here?
When everyone talks about Yoda, just put on the voice of Grover from fucking Sesame Street. Same fucking guy.
Same voice?
Yeah, same voice.
If you ABM, it's the same one?
You won't be able to tell the difference. I think.
Yes.
Grover from Muppets.
He's a baby now.
He's back to Yoda.
That's a good soundbite for the show. He's a baby now. Grover from Sesame Street. Find him. Or
I'm
do I
trying
have
to.
do
It's
it?
not easy. People aren't doing soundboards for Grover.
Grover Sesame
Here we go. Let's hear some of this.
Speaking of sound bites, quick recommendation for Doug.
As if I didn't know.
Have you seen the Sesame Street bit?
Oh, no.
Yeah, Grover.
Could you do something about it?
What happened?
Fly?
Listen.
With John Grover.
Wait, what's going on right now?
I'm playing Grover.
Waiter, there's a fly in my soup. Could you do something about it?
There is a fly in your soup, and this is...
Right?
Were you playing porn before that?
No, I'm playing...
Yeah.
I shall do something about it instantaneously,
This is
sir.
Yoda
Yes,
or Grover?
Sir, a fly in your soup. I shall take care of that, yes.
No, Yoda is like Grover, but he's more... He talks
lower.
He talks in like backwards, and he's like slower.
George was a fly, not a noodle or maybe a piece of hair.
Looks like Grover's giving this guy a blowjob.
Sir, I do not see a fly in the soup.
No, waiter, I believe I said in the soup, and you're looking under the soup.
Yoda. I knew that. Oh. I knew that. Anybody knows that. I knew I was looking.
All right, we'll work on that. We'll work on a Grover interviews Yoda bit for next time Vic is here.
800 years have I trained Jedi.
All right, who's next on the line? I got this muted. Hold on. Hello? Who's there? Who? Call?
I am wondering, why are you here?
Call who there? Call who there? Hello?
Good morning, Tim, baby. Hey, DJ Douggpound's in the house. How y'all doing?
Good. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
This is Dave Cool calling in, saying hello to you
Dave.
guys. Had a couple questions for you.
You didn't answer where you're calling from.
Where are you calling from?
Calling from the tri-state area.
Okay, fair enough.
New England.
All right, let's rapid fire. Shoot your questions now.
Yeah, rapid. Sorry, not been meaning to talk over you. I know that you've been talking a lot about The Irishman. I was wondering if you had time for a trivia question on The Irishman.
Can you ask the question without spoiling anything about the movie for my audience?
No, I think so. It's kind of a mashup. Two of my favorite topics that you guys talk about with The Sopranos and Joe Pesci.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, so I saw the movie in theaters. I thought it was awesome. I did notice throughout the feature a couple faces from The Sopranos. In fact, I noticed there were 3 faces from The Sopranos. Maybe 4. I haven't checked IMDb. Might have been a 4th. But I know 3 for sure. Tim, Can you name the 3 Sopranos characters that were in The Irishman?
Oh boy. Wow. You might have stumped the trivia master, my friend. My brain is whizzing through the movie. It is literally screen capping images, notable moments. There was certainly some cameos people recognize. Obviously, are these? Let me ask you. I request one question to you.
Sure. One lifeline question.
Were they speaking parts, or these are extras?
One part was actually like a main role. I'm surprised you don't have this one offhand.
Okay.
One of them was quite a surprise, and I gotta say, it caused me to laugh out loud in the theater, and it raised a lot of, turned some heads. I had a nice gut-busting reaction to one of them.
Shit.
And then the other one I thought was fairly obvious as well.
God damn it! Well, you got me, friend. I will.
Yeah,
I can see.
Right, well, I won't.
Give me one right now that you think I should have gotten, but doesn't spoil anything.
Oh my gosh, you didn't notice Silvio Dante in the movie?
No, where was he?
Oh man, that was like the best part.
Stevie
I
Van
knew
Zandt?
It was him.
Stevie Van Zandt?
Steven Van Zandt, yes sir. Yep.
Where is he in the movie? Is it too much? Is it too hard to say?
Let's just say this. He was a performer on a stage.
Aha!
Yes.
Aha! I did not notice that. I know what you're talking about now. Shit. All right, give me the other one.
I noticed it in the split second they showed him.
Oh, well, good
and then
for
they
you.
went back to him
Good
for
for
a few
you.
minutes.
You're the best.
Yeah, anyway.
Well,
Tim pays attention to the story and he respects the script. He's not scanning the background for random cameos. He's enjoying the story.
Do you know
right, Tim?
Another question. Do you know if Vic Berger finished The Sopranos yet? And if not, what season is he on?
Imagine I know that. Yes. Give me that game show music. No, I don't know. You'll have to ask Vic when he's back in the studio. I bet he hasn't. He's probably all into the Popeye stuff or whatever. Listening.
Because I'll be honest with you, it didn't sound like he was too into the show, which was surprising
I
to
don't
me.
know. He's not. We have different. I mean, I don't really know. I don't think he's into these
What do you think you're contributing to the
crime
show?
dramas that I love. It's okay. These younger kids
Well,
don't have
all
the
right,
patience
Tim.
for it. All right, one more
I
call.
love you, buddy.
Love
and,
you.
Watch.
What?
All right, thank you.
I'm
Bye.
watching the fucking Irishman as soon as it comes on Netflix again.
Who is it? Who's there?
Who's there, darling? Who's there on the phone?
Hey, Timbo.
Go ahead.
Where you calling from?
This is Luke Booth calling from Parent Teacher Conference here in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania.
Get us on speaker.
You're on speaker?
Can you put us on speaker so we can hear what's going on there?
Oh, there's no parents in here right now, sir.
Oh, are you a teacher?
What was that?
Are you a teacher?
I'm a teacher. I'm a high school math teacher.
Oh, wow. I get it. So, but you have school today?
I do. The kids don't. So I'm just here till 8 p.m.
Oh, my God. Meeting with parents?
Yeah.
So, Joey's doing pretty good. You know,
That's all it is.
He's got basically,
it's just like, wow.
He's working hard and but he's got to sort of focus a little more. And I would recommend him taking a tutoring class if he's available, if that's something that's available to him.
Tim, I think I'm going to have you do these for me. I'll just put you on speaker.
You know, we could do that if you want. We could set that up. Unfortunately, his timing isn't great because we're almost done with the show, unbelievably.
Yeah, true.
But if you want, if you're talking to the parents, go, hey, are you fans of Tim Heidecker? They go, who? You know, Tim and Eric. Nah, I don't know what that is. Have you seen Us? Yeah, I think so.
True.
He was in that. Okay. Do you want him to be a part of the parent-teacher conference? No.
Who are you?
All right. Well, how can I help you?
Well,
Do you have
what
any
if I
questions?
told you he was on Bridesmaids? I'm actually here. I wanted to ask you, because it's my first year teaching, if you were teaching a class, how would you like teach it to make it interesting?
I'd wear a clown costume. I'd wear a clown costume every day. I'd use balloons, and I don't know. I would like. I would probably. You could tell from this show that I'm professorial. I like giving advice. I like taking people under my wing, and I would make it Socratic, right? You got to make it Socratic. You got to ask questions. You got to get them involved, get them curious. You can't just be up there going like, Chapter 1, math was invented by the cavemen to keep track of their rocks. Chapter 2, 2 plus 2 is 4. Chapter 3. Now,
what are you drinking there, buddy? Chugging something. You got a big gulp?
I'm having my third coffee of the day. All right, Doug.
I just had my second. Maron, I'm amped. Let's take another go. Good luck to you. Thank you for teaching our children. Teach your children
thank you,
well.
Tim.
Oh,
hey, have a good one, Tim.
By the way, I love that David Crosby documentary that you can find online.
Oh, there is one? There's one out there?
So good. And then what I hate is the other documentary that came out, which is the Laurel Canyon documentary.
I saw that.
Holy shit. Did you see that?
I saw that.
Holy shit. The fuck was that? The fuck? Goddamn Jacob Dylan walking around Laurel Canyon, running into David Crosby and Stephen Stills and all these nuts going, tell us something. Can you help me make a documentary? I have no interest in this subject, clearly. I'm zoned. I'm completely zonked, whatever.
He
seemed out of it, man. He seemed like he was on drugs.
Who? Crosby?
Jacob Dylan.
Or Dylan?
Dylan seemed zonked. Like he was on mood stabilizers or opiates or something. He was like glassy-eyed, like not engaged. Like somebody put a gun to his head or took his family and said, you make this documentary or we're going to kill your family.
I didn't get that feeling at all, but it just seemed like he wanted to like cover cool songs and make a concert and make it about him, not really about...
Those scenes where him and Beck and Cat Power and somebody else were sitting
talking
around
about records,
looking at records in some beautiful home. You know, the thing about those guys, they were making it up. They really had this. They had something going on. And there's a funny moment when they're interviewing Brian Wilson, and Vic would appreciate this. And everybody else plays it that they're like, all right, there's a director who's asking the questions, but Jacob Dylan is there as the guy, sort of like the actor playing the person almost. But Brian doesn't understand that, so Brian is looking sort of to the left of camera, not talking to Jacob, but talking to the person off camera that's asking him the question. So he's like totally looking the other way. And it's just this total false premise. There's some things that I know that stuff pretty well. It's of great interest to me. And you've got like no mention of Joni Mitchell and no mention of fucking Bob Dylan, except for like one mention of him. And you understand why, because Jacob's like, let's not make this about my dad, okay? Let's not make this about my dad. Well, how can we not? Your dad basically like started this whole folk scene. Or he didn't start it, but made it so popular, I got to watch my words here because people come back and go, well, he didn't start it, okay? Anyways, one more call because it's already 11:28. One more call. I just want one more call. Hopefully it's that guy that called in last week that said that my stabbing was proof that I was into these dark, sicko scenes.
Remember that the last caller, people were writing me telling me that it was definitely like one of our friends or something.
Oh, no, it was not that I know of. Anybody home? Anybody there? Hello?
Hello?
Hello, who's this?
Hi, my name is Emily. Can you hear me?
Emily, thank goodness. You're our last caller today. We'll go a little past 11:30. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from New York.
New York.
I am woman, hear me roar. Is that it?
You're our lone lady to call the show today, but we appreciate. What can I do for you?
Oh, I want to ask about something. So I remember you tweeted something like a year back, and it looked like a sequel to the comedy, and I think it was called The Drama.
Yeah.
Is that going to happen anytime soon, or?
No, darling. It was a joke. It was a picture, I think, of me in a hot tub.
Yes.
It's a very scintillating. Scintillating? What's the word I'm looking for? Scintillating? Scootulating? Scintillating. Very sexy, baby. Very sexy picture of me in the hot tub. Beautiful, awesome purple lighting coming up on me, underlit, steamy shot. I don't know what I was doing in that hot tub. I don't know what I was doing in that tub, but I was in there.
I've had sex with Madonna.
And I liked when Al Pacino said that Joe Piscopo was in The Irishman. Just remembered that. Yeah, let me tell you something.
This is how we're going to end the show with this?
I don't know. Do you have another question? No, that picture was funny. It looked like very dramatic, and I just said, I put it out. I put a title on it. I begged Rick. I said, write me another movie, you son of a bitch. I said, let's do a sequel. Let's get back together. Let's shoot the shit out of it. You know, he's got other plans, and nobody wants
Rick Perry, and I approve this message.
Stop with your Rick Perry. Steve Perry, I want to hear from Journey doing some a cappella shit. Emily, second question quickly, and then we have to go.
I mean, I don't really have any second questions. I just...
You have nothing else.
You got to have follow-up questions in case the first one's
a bust.
A bust.
Well, tell us about your Thanksgiving plans.
Oh, I'm going to be eating with my uncle. Yeah.
I'm going to be eating with my uncle. Eating with my uncle. I'm going to be eating with my uncle. Boy, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Just you and your uncle, huh?
Yeah, oh, well, my uncle, my cousins, my aunt. This is really riveting, isn't it?
No, I'm curious. I'm curious about, like, what people...
Where do they live?
Ooh.
You don't have to give a street address. We're not looking to dox anybody.
Yeah, no.
Are you doing any cooking, or do you prepare anything, or are you just there as a participant?
Yeah, as a participant. I'm not
How old are you?
good at cooking. 16.
Oh, yeah. Well, you just got to ride. You got to take it easy and just. I remember when I was 16, my cousin and I, we used to, her and I used to be in charge of opening the champagne bottle. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh.
We go.
Yeah.
We'll go outside and open the champagne bottle. We don't want this cork to pop and hurt anybody. So we'll go outside and open it. And it can pop, and we go sip, 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 sip. Okay, a couple sips. You understand? Have a couple little sips before we brought it back in. We come back in, that bottle's half empty. Yo. I don't know. I'm not encouraging people to drink underage, but I'm just saying, if you get yourself in charge of the champagne bottle, you're going to have a little bit of fun before the turkey gets served. Or maybe you don't like to drink. I don't know. I'm not accusing you of nothing. You understand that?
No, I understand. Don't worry.
All right. Well, thank you for listening. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being a part of Office Hours. Here's more Grover.
The soup and not in the soup.
In the soup.
Right. I will now look in the soup. Thank you.
Okay, that's Grover. Or is it Yoda? We don't know. It is Frank Oz, as Al Pacino reminds us. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Emily. Have a Thanksgiving that you'll always remember. I have a Thanksgiving memory was they used to play a marathon of Mystery Science Theater 3000. Maybe they still do. And that I love. Don't you
now
want to
they
sing
just
that?
watch it's Macy's Day Parade and football.
Well, they say that the Macy's Day Parade might be canceled because of winds.
I thought it was going to be canceled because it tweeted something that it shouldn't have.
Yep. that Mighty Mouse came out and said something very provocative. Mighty Mouse, remember Mighty Mouse? He was always the big star, the Macy's Day Parade.
Mighty Mouse.
Yeah, Mighty Mouse.
He was the star?
One of the stars.
Like one of the big balloons?
One of the big balloons, yeah. Well, Doug, I want to thank you for making time to do this. And as Aristotle, you as well coming in. I want to thank the audience for welcoming us back. And I believe updates on future shows are to be determined. I think next week, perhaps. Doug, are you gone?
I'm going to Australia tomorrow.
Tomorrow's going to Australia, so maybe Vic will be back. We'll do a Vic show, and then we could A/B the whole situation. We could compare this show with next week's show and have a determination of who is the essential part of the Trinity, besides myself. Thank you, everyone.
I think we need all three for it to really click.
I totally agree. But it was fun anyways. We had some good bits. We had some fun callers. Made the show special and unique. Now it's off to explore the rest of the day. And we hope you have a terrific Thanksgiving. And we hope you have a terrific week. And we wish you all the best. Stay strong, stay positive, and be safe out there. We love you. Today's show has been sponsored by Swanson's Turkey Broth, which I have in my cupboard, and I'm going to be preparing the turkey, so thank you very much, Swanson's, for giving me 1,000 buckets, 1,000 gallons. Where's the music? I can't.
It faded out.
Fuck. Just trying to go out. Thank you. Thank you to Swanson's for providing me with over 100 containers of broth stock. Good night.
Thank you for listening.
Land that I love, stand beside her and guide her. Bye.
Cut the tape. Cut the tape. Cut the tape.